All right, guys, it's your boy, and today we got some news coming out of this Somali fraud drama that's been going on. And this Somali girl on TikTok decided to make death threats to Elon Musk. So, yeah, let's just watch it, shall we?
Musk. هذا فور حما إلى ماسك عبس كفور
When people say like this is fake, I'm like, actually,
أوسان أفور
well, let's look at.
كان محو هايستا العق بس هايستا بدو فور حمية.
Okay, look at the comments there. He's obsessed with us bad. I guarantee you, Elon Musk is not obsessed with you. That's all I can say.
بس كفور حمية كان. وأدق ودم الربع. I wouldn't worry too much about this one. That الباب يسجوا. I wouldn't worry too much about him. He better die.
You see how disgusting the way she's speaking is?
Oh, I wouldn't be worried about this one.
Making all kind of weird mouth noises.
You about to die.
As far back as I remember, we used to deport people over making death threats and hate speech towards Americans. I don't know what's gonna happen with this one, but apparently the FBI is about to pay her a visit. That's what I've heard.
Musk. هذا فور حما.
And let's see. Let's take a look into her background. So her name is Fardosa Mohammed, and she's from Kansas City. Her goal in pursuing medicine is to help address the racial inequities experienced by refugee mothers in the healthcare system. That's your typical "I'm a victim" bullshit. In addition to excelling academically, she has been involved in organization focusing on exposing students to healthcare professions. That's just a big nothing burger. It's just bullshit again. Helped put together a cultural fashion show to showcase the diversity of cultures represented within her high school student body. Okay, what does a fashion show have to do with anything? All right. And volunteered to translate so school and families can communicate with one another. How about you just learn English if you're gonna immigrate to an English country? All while working nearly 20 hours a week and taking care of her nieces and nephews. Uh, here they act like working 20 hours a week is a lot. That's a part-time job, okay? I used to go to school and work full-time at the same time, which was about 38, 40 hours while going to school. This is not the flex you think it is. All right, moving on from that. Here we got a tweet by Tim Waltz that aged like milk. Hey, Golf Tim Waltz, can we get an update on this? This Twitter account is so funny, but yes, Tim Waltz tweeted this last year. The buck stops with me. If you commit fraud in Minnesota, you will be caught and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I think he meant to say the buck starts with me because he enabled it, but you know, I don't know. I don't think this tweet aged as well as he thinks it did. All right, and here we have USA chart of the welfare rate divided by states. And so as you can see here, Minnesota is really not that bad. It's only 25% welfare. And so it's the 44th, it's on the 44th rank of the most welfare in the United States. It's really not that bad. Compared to, let's say, LA. In LA, 40% people are on welfare, which is ridiculous. But in Minnesota, only 25%. That's not that bad. It's on the lower side, at least. And now if we take a look at these charts, you will see that the welfare use rate in Minnesota by household with children, native households with children, 30%. Somali immigrant households with children, 89%. Now that is just ridiculous, because it's like if you take 10 people, 9 of them are on welfare and 1 is working. Now, if you do the same thing with American households, you know, they say native, which means they were born in America. American's household, you take 10 people, 7 of them are working, and 3 of them are on welfare with kids. So it's really not normal. And if we take a look at this chart, the adults in poverty, native, 6.9%, Somali immigrants, 40%, which I find that funny because they say 40% are in poverty because they're receiving those benefits, but those benefits are making them very rich, not poor, which I find that funny. Now, no high school diploma. 5% of the population doesn't have a high school diploma. Somali immigrants, 40%. Now, speaks English less than very well. Less than 1%. You know, the 99.3% of Americans speak very well English. But the Somali population, 58, almost 60% doesn't speak English very well. That means if you take 10 people, 4 of them speak English and 6 of them don't. Which to me is very wild. Now, households, overcrowded condition, 1% with Americans, 30% with Somalis. So it's, it's insane. From 1% to 30, it's the numbers don't lie. It's they're all overcrowded because they'll have very, very big families and every person claims benefits, and that's how they get all of this money. Yeah, that's about it for this chart. And now if we look at this chart, this one is very interesting because you can customize it. So it went up to 2022, and if we look at white people, you will see Social Security and Medicare 20%. That's 20 is pretty much the average of the country, and Medicaid 20% too. So it's the numbers are very like average. You look at Asian people, Social Security 11.5, Medicare 13. Those numbers are so small. Respect to Asians, man. You guys are workaholics. Those numbers are incredibly small. And Medicaid, even under 20%. So that's Asian people. Now, it gets interesting when we start looking at the black population because I firmly believe that it's divided in two, in the sense that if you look at Social Security and Medicare, to have Social Security, you need to have worked, and be of age. So to me, those are, the black Americans. And the numbers are good. 17, they're under 20. 17, those numbers are normal. Everything is normal here. But, when you start to get at Medicaid, 37%. And I thought it didn't make sense. I was like, what? White people 20? Asian people 17? Black people 37? Why? Because this is what all of the Somalis are on. And I firmly believe that it would look more like this. Because look, 20, 20, 20, these are supposed to look the same. These are supposed to be the same. But they're not. 17, 17, 37. And I guarantee you, if there was no Somali population, it would be like 17, 17, 17, or 20. This is all blown up by the Somali population. And so, yeah, I don't know, man. What do you guys all think about this whole debacle? I just think personally, like, if you immigrate into a country, you should learn the language, English, which most of the world speak English by that point, by the way. So it's not like it's too much to ask. And if you start, like, if you just got here and not only are you committing fraud, but you're also, making death threats, making terroristic threats. And there's another video of her, and she's basically saying yeah, you guys were doing fraud and it's cool and it's nice. Like she's not disapproving of it. She's like, the real problem is you got caught. And it's like, wow, you're really defending, like you're really defending these actions by your people. Um, she was basically like talking in her own language, saying, why did you guys have to, make a mistake on the sign, Leering Center, you know, that's the reason you got caught, that's what she was saying. And I find that pretty hilarious. Um, yeah, they have no shame. She has no shame. She's basically saying like, hey, you guys shouldn't have got caught, and now she's making death threats to American people. I mean, it's completely disgusting. So, yeah, I mean, you know, what's your guys' thought on this? And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.